demonetized.
True.
I don't know if I want to wear this. I have a big head.
Dude, same. My head is huge. Take it from someone who, like, genuinely, like, had a pixie cut one time. It was not a good look. Yeah.
But you know how people look, like, cute in beanies? I have, like, it's just my head's so fucking big.
You have not seen me from the side yet. Hold up.
That looks good, though.
Are you... Okay.
It's, like, the shape of a head, though. I feel like I look like a fucking alien.
I feel like that's dysmorphia talking. Because I don't think you do.
No hat. Let's go. We gotta start so I can stop, like, wanting to change my outfit.
Okay, fair. All right.
So we can tell people how to love themselves.
While we sit here and hate ourselves, let's tell you how to love yourself. Well, welcome to episode 1 of the Lonelycast. We're your hosts. I'm Abigail.
And I'm Brittany. Sorry, can we restart?
Yeah.
I was just opening something.
Oh, yeah.
Why is it this?
Ooh, before we start, totally, can I show you what I got from the dollar store today that I really like?
Yeah, absolutely.
First off, I must say that I absolutely love the dollar store. It's my favorite store.
Same.
I got this necklace that is for a child, but it is so adorable.
That is so cute.
It has 2 little hearts and all these bees, and it's kind of like a little bit of a choker. Like, it's nice. And then, because, like I said, it was made for a child. And I also got this little bracelet to match.
That's so cute.
I love it. It's also small on me, but it's fine. I have dainty, effeminate wrists, so I can handle it.
I love that for you.
Yeah, those are my dollar store haul items. I got more, but I got candles. But
Nice. Cute. I have been ordering things off of Amazon and Etsy, like, on accident.
On accident? It's totally an accident. I didn't mean to do it at all.
This is the latest.
Oh my god. I love it.
It's chapstick.
I wasn't
Pretty
expecting
cool.
that. You can hang it off of your keychain and everything.
I know.
Holy
and
shit.
then I bought a shit ton of stickers. There's Sailor Moon and there's a bunch of Marvel ones for no reason. But I'm gonna find places to stick them.
Oh my god. I'm really jealous, honestly. That's like a lot of stickers. How much did you pay for that?
For both of them, I think like $6. And there's like a shit ton. Yeah, if you go on Amazon and you search stickers.
Oh my god.
I know we hate Amazon, but...
Well, we're also poor, so I don't know how
Exactly.
much we can. That's the thing, is I do this, like, literally all the time. I, like, go on, like, an anti-capitalist rant, and I'm like, capitalism is the worst thing in our society. It's the worst thing ever. And then I realize I literally work in e-commerce, and I'm like... I am the root of all evil. It's just, yeah.
I hate seeing tweets that are like I saw one the other day that was like shitting on people for buying from Shein.
Oh, yeah.
Which, like, yes, Shein sucks, but you're not gonna find like a basic black t-shirt or tank top that you want in your size from Value Village.
No, exactly.
Like, there's some pieces that, like, you kind of have to just buy.
Yeah. And, like, honestly, yeah, I will do it. I think I buy most of my basics anyways from, like, H&M and Zara, which is no better, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I understand. Although one of my friends who is very well off came to me, as in, like, she buys designer, like, all the time. And she was like, I just found out about this website called Shein, and, like, it's so crazy. You can get, like, all this stuff for, like, super cheap. And I was like, dude, you are currently outfitted entirely in Balenciaga. If you buy something from Shein, I will not be your friend anymore. Like, I can't.
I'll kill you, Dad.
I was like, you can afford to not buy from Shein. Just don't. But, you know what? Each to their own.
Yeah.
Should we start?
Yeah, I guess. This always happens.
Yeah, no, it's okay. We can, like, leave all this stuff at the beginning. I was watching and listening to a bunch of other podcasts, and I realized that, like, people will have whole conversations that will be in the podcast, and they'll be like, all right, let's get started.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we should show our little hauls.
Exactly. I really want to. All right, well, welcome to episode 1 of the Lonelycast. We are your hosts. I'm Abigail.
And I'm Brittany.
And as this is the first episode, I feel like it's kind of a good idea to get started and talk about how this podcast came to be. Just a little bit and like what it's going to be about. The Lonelycast was conceptualized like last year. And Brittany and I were talking about it a couple months ago and about all these ideas that I had for a podcast. And I didn't want to do it alone because I was like, didn't want to just sit and talk for like 45 minutes to an hour by myself. I thought that would be really boring. So I asked Brittany to join me, and then the Lonelycast became our thing. And I guess like the main, for me anyways, I feel like we both kind of have our own definitions of like how we see it and like what it's going to mean to us. But for me, I feel like getting comfortable with the idea of aloneness and like getting comfortable with yourself and like coming to know yourself more is like super important and is something that I've been really focused on in the last year. And it's had its ups and downs and everything like that, but lots of good anecdotes. I feel like I just have anecdotes that I want to share with the world if I can. So yeah, that's what it is for me. I don't know about you, but
I'm pretty hard on myself in like the sense of always second guessing what I'm saying. I'm pretty shy. If you see me on like Twitter, I don't give that off, but I think this will be a good way for me to just talk without really thinking about it. I don't know. I don't know if I explained that well, but
no, that's fair. That's fair.
I want to listen to myself talk.
Honestly, I feel like as this is something that's like not going to be super like, I don't want it to come off as like super like curated and like produced like super high quality or like scripted or anything like that. I feel like we're going to have definite moments. Editing is going to be a really fun time. But yeah. I think all in all, like between the two of us, we have enough wisdom to somewhat just share and at least entertain people with. So there we go. That's our goal. That's why we're here. That's why you're listening to us right now. So
yeah, we just want to be your friend.
Yeah, exactly.
We want you to have a pal.
Exactly. I don't know. I guess like because I listen to podcasts a lot of the time. I mean, I've been spending the majority of my time alone over the past several months. And so to listen to podcasts, even when I'm like out just like walking around, it's nice because it makes me feel like I have like the company of people with me, and it just like keeps my brain stimulated as opposed to like music on, brain off, or just like, yeah. I don't know. It's helpful in that way.
Like quarantine brain has been really kicking my ass. I can't really focus on anything.
Yeah.
And podcasts have been really helpful of just like, I'll put them on when I'm doing the dishes or just like trying to get something done. And it's way more stimulating than like having music on in the background. Yeah. Like you're actually like processing what they're saying.
Exactly. So I don't know. It's definitely exciting that we get to start our own now. And like because our podcast is kind of like, we want to have like that general goal of like fostering content that like inspires people to kind of look a little bit more deeply maybe at their own concept of aloneness and like how they see themselves. we have a really good first episode today. It's going to be talking a lot about like self-love and self-care, and the way that I like to think of it is like gaining my own personality. Just throughout the years, I feel like that's definitely been something that has been a big motif of like no longer just like fitting into like specific groups of people for a certain amount of time, but like actually getting to know myself and knowing what I like. But yeah.
No, that's huge. Because like in junior high and high school, I feel like no one's like fully being themselves. It's more so what do I have to do to like hang out with these people?
Yeah, exactly.
At least that's what it was like for me.
Yeah, definitely.
But like now that I'm in the real world.
Yeah.
I'm kind of figuring out who am I? What does Brittany like to do?
Yeah. Actually,
now that there's no pressure.
I was thinking about that because recently I've been getting into Taylor Swift again. For some reason, her music. Like yesterday, I listened to her entire discography, minus Reputation and Lover, because I don't like those two albums. Like I cannot listen to them. They make me.
I just tweeted about her this morning.
Oh, really?
That's so funny.
I don't have Twitter,
Continue.
so.
I know.
Wait, what was your tweet? Can we do like a Britney tweets moment?
That's not going to be a thing.
Brittles 99 tweets.
I don't want to be exposed. I said that I'm glad. Oh, when I was 13, I hated Taylor Swift, probably because she's beautiful and talented. And I'm glad I grew out of it, because now I can shake my ass to Fearless again.
Yeah, literally. So. Oh my god. I was listening to, first of all, on her album Fearless, I think my favorite songs are 15, for sure. Because that song, like, I remember listening to it for the first time. I think I was like 12 or something like that, 12 or 13, and I was like...
Not 15.
Yeah, no, way before I was 15. And I was like, oh yeah, like when you're 15. But now, like, as an almost 23-year-old, by the way, when we put this out, if nothing goes wrong, it's going to be on the day before my birthday, so... What?
Say happy birthday to Abigail. Now.
So, literally, like, almost 10 years, pretty much, since I heard the album for the first time. Like, so much has changed, and it resonates so much more with me, and, like, listening to, like, all those songs and thinking about, like, my relationships that I had when I was, like, 15 and stuff like that. Oh, my God. If we're talking about self-care, we're talking about, like, shaking your ass to Fearless, as you said. But, I don't know. I guess, like, my original point was getting back into Taylor Swift now made me realize, like, how much I really did love her music, because, I mean, I know all of the lyrics to, like, all of her songs, and, like, even her new albums, I really enjoy and appreciate them. But I feel like being a Swiftie, or, like, liking Taylor Swift was just so, like, not cool, and if you like Taylor Swift, like, you were so lame and everything. I had this, like, weird thought pattern in my head, so, like, I was like, ugh, Taylor Swift, hate her. Disgusting. Like, after
I feel like everyone did at some point.
Yeah.
And it's all just like internalized misogyny.
Literally.
Like I was like, why did I hate Taylor Swift? Like, when I was a kid, I would listen to Fearless, like, to the point where I broke the CD.
Yeah.
And then I think when I got a little bit older, I was like, oh, I hate Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift, ugh.
She dates a lot of boys, and, like, that's so gross. Like, what?
Yeah, but I, like, just wanted to date a lot of boys, which is why I hated her.
I was, like, jealous of her dating history.
Yeah. I'm like, Jake Gyllenhaal.
You're like, yes, please. Harry Styles. That still, like, blows my mind. I was on the internet every day of my life, but, like, a couple days ago, I guess, I saw these, like, posts from, I don't know, I think it was, like, the Grammys or something like that. And, like, I think both Taylor Swift and Harry Styles performed, and there's, like, all these photos of them, like, looking at each other, and all the fans were like, oh my god, this is, like, the scene from La La Land, and, like, you know, I don't know if I have to explain
Isn't he
that.
dating Olivia Wilde?
I think so, which, honestly, like, good for him. I'm jealous of both of them. Like, that's a sexy couple.
Yeah.
But
she's so hot.
Oh, she's
Anyways.
so hot. And just, like, so brilliant. Her movies, like, the fact that she directs movies now is, like, so sexy.
You know who I got really into recently? Reese Witherspoon.
Oh.
She's so fucking cool. She has a production company that just makes movies. It's like only female-led movies and like female-starring movies and shows.
Oh wait, isn't her
she has
thing,
like a book club?
Isn't her thing
Pardon?
too on her sets always? She like only allows like an all-female crew.
I think so. I don't know about that, but I think so. I know that she makes a point of having a variety of people. So like she wants to make sure there's a lot of women involved, and as well as people of color. Yeah, she rocks. And she was talking on another podcast that I was listening to about how she reads like a book or two a day.
Oh my god. What?
And just like pumps through them. And she wants to give writers an opportunity to like have their like books turned into movies or shows if they want to.
That is
I don't
so
know.
insane. Reese Witherspoon?
She rocks.
Holy shit. Wow. Reese Witherspoon? More like Rain Man. Wow. Never mind. I regret that joke entirely.
That's okay. I said she rocks like 6
She
times,
rocks.
I think.
She is the coolest of the beans.
She rocks. Reese, please message me back.
Yeah.
Please let me take you on a date.
Please respond, Reese. Oh my god, yeah, no. Anyways, powerful
That's what
women.
I want to do, though.
Yeah. Yeah. No, honestly, just like the amount of times that I've let my jealousy of like other women doing cool things and like doing what they want get in the way of like me staying in my own lane and also doing my own cool thing.
Exactly.
Like, whatever.
Yeah, I was really bad for like just being jealous of other girls. Like I still catch myself doing so, but I just realized that like I could be doing what they're doing if I put my time and energy into that instead of like being like, man, I wish I was her.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking bitch.
I've like, for some reason I've had this like weird switch like over the past couple of years because I used to struggle, well, and I still struggle with the same thing, like I can't lie, but I feel like it's not as recognizable for me anymore because jealousy isn't something that I immediately feel, but when people use the word like jealous, like even if it's just like in passing, I feel like it's too tied into like our vocabulary now because people will be like, oh my god, you did this, oh I'm so jealous, oh my god you found this, I'm so jealous. Like it's just such a thing that like people throw around, but for me jealousy is like such a heavy, like it's a really heavy emotion to feel because it's, I mean personally it's taken to me like really dark spaces and just hating everything about myself and hating everything about that, about like what I do, and like I don't know, it bothers me now when people are like, oh my god she has this, I'm so jealous, and I'm like like feel how you want to, but like maybe throw the word around less. I don't know.
I had something to say and then I lost my train of thought.
That's okay.
Yeah, I feel like I hear that word thrown around all the time when it's more so just like, oh that's cool, I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
Rather than I'm so jealous.
I'm such a
jealous
jealous
is so like negative in my opinion.
Yeah, totally.
It's like instead of being like, oh, that person's succeeding, I'm so proud of them, it's like you're mad at them for doing something you want to do.
Exactly. I don't know. It was, yeah, it's a really strange exchange to have with somebody. I don't know. I just do what you want to do. If you feel as if like you're not doing the best that you can do, like give yourself, obviously, like be nice to yourself about it, and like don't be like, oh I'm so angry at myself for not doing this thing, but it's like so you're not doing it right this second, that doesn't mean that you're never going to do it, you know? Just like be nicer to yourself. Maybe like one day like take a step in that direction, you know? This podcast literally took an entire year to actually start, so
Yeah.
It's kind of...
That's a good point, because I've been wanting to, like, create content since I was 12.
Yeah.
But, well, obviously the holdback being in, like, junior high was, you're in junior high and everything is so embarrassing.
Yeah.
But even as I got older, I was just like, well, what if I post this and people don't like it? Or, like, what if someone says this about it? And then it's just kind of like, who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if someone else doing this made me feel jealous, then I should just do it.
Yeah.
That's the only way I'm going to get to that place.
Exactly. Oh, fuck. That's another thing that I hate, too, though, is, like, if someone does something and you're, like, inspired by it or, like, you admire it and, like, first of all, I think it's important that you, like, let the person know, because I'm just all down for, like, giving people props where it's due and, like, telling people that you're, like, proud of them or you're inspired by them or something like that. But, like, if you go ahead and, like, do that thing or do something similar to it, if that person's first reaction is, I hate that they're copying me.
Ugh!
That's...
all the time.
People that are like that, they just... I'm like, something doesn't sit right with me when someone's like, I hate that this person is copying me with this. And I'm like, you don't have an original thought in your head. Trust me. I know you think you're all that, but what you're doing is not fully original. It's been done before. And it's like...
Yeah, and also, like, if you're doing something or dressing a certain way and that's something that makes you happy, like, is it so crazy to think that that would also make someone else happy?
Exactly.
Like, I don't know. I've never been like, oh, they're copying me.
Yeah.
Unless it's, like, very evident.
Very evident. That's another thing, because I guess this is, like, coming full circle into, like, gaining your own personality, because, like, for the longest time, I would, like, slowly morph into the person that I was, like, best friends with for, like, a few years, and then towards the end of the friendship, like, I couldn't tell myself apart from the other person, and it wasn't necessarily so conscious, like, I had no idea, and then they would, like, this happened to me, I think, like, 2 times or something like that, about that, where, like, the person, like, would approach me and be like, hey, I feel like you've adopted huge parts of my personality. It's making me uncomfortable and dislike you for these reasons. Which, like, I'm not as hard on myself about it as I used to be, because, like, when that happened, originally, I went through, like, full identity crisis. I was like, I don't know who I am anymore. What if what they said was 100% true and I don't have my own personality and interests? When, like, there was definitely truth to it, but I, instead of, like, actively, like, looking at myself and looking at the parts of myself that I had adopted from the other person and the parts of myself that were there from the beginning, like, I would just, like, spiral and be like, I am nothing. I don't know who I am.
Well, that would be hard to hear.
For
like,
sure.
for anyone.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would react to that.
No. But, like, I don't know, it was helpful in, I think, propelling me forward into a space of, like, having my own thing going on, and also just, like, being okay with the interests that I do have, because, like, we were talking about Taylor Swift, but a thought also occurred to me the other day, around the same time the Taylor Swift one occurred to me. I think I'm a horse girl. Like, not just because I have horse girl themed underwear, not just because I got a cowboy boot tattooed on my arm, not just because I own a pair of cowboy boots but don't actually have horse. I think that I really liked horses growing up, and I would go to horse camp every summer, and I would be obsessed with going over to my friends' houses who had horses, and I, like, wanted to pet them, and I felt like I had a spiritual connection to them. Did I pretend to be a horse? Probably, yeah, like, once or twice in my life, but it wasn't a regular lunchtime activity, so I was like, well, I never ran around on all fours, like, at recess, but I definitely did love horses, so there was a part of me that definitely was a horse girl, and I've just come to accept that, and fully embrace it, and realize that it's okay to be a horse girl. It's actually a little bit cool, to be honest.
It is, though. I hate the idea someone liking something a lot, like having a hobby or just something that they really enjoy doing, is, like, never something that I would ever find amusing, I guess. Because it's like, I don't know, like, what's the difference between a guy who's, like, obsessed with hockey and can tell you, like, the birth date of one of the manager's brothers?
Yeah.
You know? Like, what's the difference? It's just because it's a hobby that you don't like or don't understand doesn't mean that it's weird.
Exactly.
What is weird?
What is weird?
Let's unpack that.
Yeah, Brittany, what's one hobby you have that's weird?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
I'm so normal. And you know what? I mean that, because I feel like being normal is subjective.
That is absolutely true.
There are things that are normal to some people that aren't to others.
That is true.
That being said, I just ordered some slime the other night, and I'm turning 22 this month.
Wait, of all things, I thought you were going to say I was not expecting slime. I'm not going to lie.
Neither was I. No, but that actually brings something up. So, I mean, I started looking at slime when I was high, and I was just like, that looks like something that I want to touch.
Yeah.
And then I ordered some. But I was talking to my coworker, and she's 25, I think. Mm-hmm. And I brought it up. I was like, I spent like an hour looking at slime last night. And she was like, honestly, dude, I buy slime. She's like, at my big age, I buy slime. And I was like,
oh my God.
It's not that weird, is it? She's like, no, it's like I'm constantly fiddling with something, and I just get to fiddle with something that feels cool.
Oh my God.
And I was just like, yeah, like...
Honestly, normalize adults having slime. 2022, 21. What year are we in?
Goal with that's my actual goal with this podcast.
Yeah. Honestly, like, just be fine doing the things that you like doing. As long as you're not hurting anybody, like, who cares? As long as it brings you some semblance of happiness, like, just go for it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I feel like I've been a lot more free to just, like, enjoy, first of all, myself. Like, instead of hating myself 100% of the time, it's only, like, maybe 45% of the time now, which is, like, so freeing. I recognize I'm like, wow, maybe this hobby isn't something that I want to, like, broadcast to the entire... Well, no, that's a lie. I will broadcast any hobby I have to the entire world because I perpetually cannot keep my mouth shut. But, like, just because it's something that's, like, really not that crazy, like, I am not an artist in the respect that I can draw. Like, I can't at all.
I'm awful.
Yeah, like, I wish I was an amazing, like, painter or something like that. I've tried so many times, but the thing with me is, like, if I'm not good at it immediately, I can't do it.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad for that also, because I've been getting a lot of art come up on, like, my Twitter feed, and I'm always like, I wish I could do that, and my boyfriend will be like, just put the time in then, like, you're not gonna be able to do something.
Shut the fuck up, Mal. God.
Yeah, what an asshole. I'm just kidding. No, but, like, it's a good point. Like, he always brings up that you're not gonna be good at something if you don't put the time into doing it. And I'm just in my brain like, if I try this and it doesn't work out, I'm not gonna pick it up ever again.
Yeah. Well, and I
tried to draw a circle and it wasn't circular. Art isn't for me.
Never drawing circles ever again in my life. I feel like a big part of that, though, too, is actually enjoying the thing that you're doing, because it's a lot easier to put time and effort into something if you actually enjoy what you're doing. So it's not necessarily, like, the outcome of, like, you get the perfect circle, but if you're like, oh, fuck yeah, I love drawing this circle right now, it's filling me with so much serotonin, like, I feel like that ends up leading people to, like, having those, like, really intense hobbies. I feel like, I mean, there's some people that will study and, like, do something. I feel like most pianists hate playing the piano. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like they...
Yeah, because a lot of them were, like, forced to do it when they were a kid.
Exactly. And I feel like... But they're super good at it now because they were forced to do it, but they didn't necessarily enjoy it. But I don't know. I feel like the most legit hobbies for myself in my life have come out of me genuinely just enjoying doing it. Like, all steps of the way, as opposed to, like, making something really sick and, like, being pleased with the outcome, because I never am. I don't know. Nothing's
Yeah.
ever good enough for me.
I was thinking the other day, because I used to be really insecure when people would ask me, like, what I do in my free time.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, my friends all played, like, sports or just, like, they had stuff that they did, like, every week.
Yeah.
But I realized that if I like doing something, I don't want it to be, like, a scheduled thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, I really enjoyed soccer growing up, and I still love playing soccer, but I don't think I'd ever join a team because it feels like there's, like, a pressure, and it kind of takes the fun out of it. And it's the same thing with, like, singing. When I was a kid, I took lessons, and as it got on, I'm like, I have to learn music theory. I'm not having fun anymore. Like, I don't fucking care about this.
Yep.
And now it's, like, just something that I do for fun. And maybe it would have been something that I pursued or, like, went to school for, but I don't know. I just like keeping my hobbies as hobbies.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, and that's
I don't excel at any of them.
Where, like, I feel like I've figured out this way of approaching my life and my future where I'm like, well, what are the things that I really am interested in and, like, really am passionate about, and how can I make money off of it? And that's literally the age-old story of people doing this. Like, this isn't new news to anybody. But, like, I've really started to look at things because, I mean, God knows, I've always been a creative person. I've always been a very imaginative person. I've always had a fascination with, like, photography and content creation and everything like that. And I'm not saying, like, I was sitting at any point being like, I want to be a YouTuber. Well, that's a lie. I think about being
like
a YouTuber
has that
every day. Yeah, people need to stop being so weird about it, because it, for sure, like, everyone has at least once thought about it. But, like, I don't know why I didn't, like, go into my university career and, like, pursue, like, visual arts of some kind, or, like, some type of art or design or something like that. Instead, I went in being like, I'm going to go and do 4 years of sciences and then another diploma program on top of that, and then go to med school and become an anatomic pathologist. Like, whose life was I trying to live? That's not something that has ever, like, brought me joy or inspired me. Like, I don't know. It's weird now sitting with the perspective that I have and being like, well, I know that the next time I do go back to school, I will actually pursue something that I like and that I'm passionate about, because I have a way higher chance of doing better in it and, like, actually sticking with it, because I am a university dropout, for those of you who
which is nothing to be ashamed about, because I've been around so many people who felt like they needed to do a certain course or, like, just take their life a certain way, especially because when you're in high school, the pressure to, like, figure out your life when you're fucking, like, 16 is so high,
and
which is so dumb. If you're in high school, you don't need to have your life figured out.
No.
If you're in your mid-20s, if you're 30, you don't need to have your life figured out. Like, everyone's just living day by day. You don't need a 5-year plan.
Never a point in which your 5-year plan is going to work out. I promise you, if I can guarantee you two things in life. You will die, and none of your 5-year plans are going to come into fruition. I promise you. Or at least they're not going to come into fruition in the way that you think that they will. Like, nothing ever goes according to plan unless you have absolutely insane luck and money, and that's what it is.
That's just life.
The idea,
I'm glad, though, that I didn't have that pressure to go to university, because a lot of my friends did, and they hated it. Like, they hated it so much.
Yeah.
And they're still in these programs that they don't want to be in, but they don't want to disappoint their parents, which sucks. I
don't know why. Once again, this is, like, me fully taking responsibility for, like, my whole university weirdness that went on in the first, like, couple years of my adulthood, because, like, I didn't necessarily have pressure from my parents to go to university. I think that I just had this, like, way played up idealization of what I wanted my life to look like 10 years down the road, and like how much money I wanted to be making and like what I wanted to do. And it's like, given the reason why I chose like sciences and stuff is because when I was in the lab, with my mom, because she worked with pathologists and we were doing that work, I was like, oh, this is so fun and so easy and so cool, and I'd love to do this. But I don't know like why I was lacking the forethought of like medical school and like how competitive it actually is, and just like neglecting to actually ask for help in deciding whether or not that would be a good option for me. I don't know. Once again, the 10-year plans are a bad idea, because I swear, like, you're idealizing your future in a way that, like, just, it's damaging to your present moment. It, like, fully is.
Yeah. My sister, I'm gonna call her up, she went to massage school right after high school. For some reason. Like, got all the books, got the massage table, and then was like, oh, I fucking hate this. Oh. And then was like, I want to go into music, and then went to music, and it was like a 4-year program, and she did 3 years and then left. And I don't mean that to, like, make fun of her, but, like, seeing that before I decided what I wanted to do after high school was nice, because I was like, oh, it's not, like, set in stone. I don't need to have everything figured out right away. Yeah. And I don't, like, no one ever has everything figured out. No. Like, even though it feels like you have to. No one knows what they're doing.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. I feel like, I mean, my sister, she's very much not following in my footsteps, which is, I don't know, good for her, I guess. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of where I am. So, like, whatever, doesn't matter. But yeah, no, like, I wish I had an example of someone who, like, genuinely just, like, did what they wanted, like, from a young age. And, like, yeah, I feel like I didn't really have much of an example of someone who was, like, free-spirited and, like, just kind of went off and did their own things in a healthy way. I feel like I had very, and so it caused me to have this, like, idea of life that everything had to be controlled and everything had to be, like, set up in a way that would, like, lead to bigger things. Like, you can never just, like, do what you wanted because you like to do it. It always had to, like, you had to have a reason behind it that was, like, leading to a bigger picture, if that makes sense. And it's taken a lot of time to deconstruct that. I don't know. I feel like that's also just, like, society's expectation on a lot of people, too. But I don't know. I'm looking at our prompts right now to see what else we can talk about. We've kind of, like, steered through this. I think it's, like, going okay. Yeah. Yeah? Do you have any other thoughts on that?
No thoughts.
No thoughts, actually.
No, I was going to talk about the people that surround you. I was just trying to figure out how to segue into that. Because it's really important to have, like, positive people around.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh, speaking of people and friend groups, I'm not a person to keep friends around or, like, friend groups around for, like, very long periods of time. I've never been like that. I moved around a lot, moved through groups of people a lot. Not for, like, any bad or negative reasons. Like, sometimes, obviously, like, shit happens. But I've always been very fine with, like, outgrowing groups of people. But, like, literally an hour before we started recording, I got a message from a friend of mine who, like, I had spent time with here, reaching out and being like, hey, I've been thinking about you a lot, and, like, I was kind of, like, upset that, like, we stopped talking, like, however many months ago for these reasons and stuff like that. But, yeah, I think when we were friends, I was in a point in my life where I really needed to be alone. And so the people that, like, I chose to be around or, like, wanted to be around were people that, like, didn't take up too much energy and just kind of, like, made me laugh and forget about things for a while, as opposed to, like, people who were, like, very, like, emotionally, we talked a lot about our feelings and very deep, dark subjects a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Which is, like, fine, but it's also for someone who's, like, already going through a bit of a crisis. It was very intense and took a lot of energy. So I just had to have a whole, like, make-up conversation with somebody, paragraphs, before we started recording about, like, our friendship and what went wrong, and me apologizing for, like, totally just, like, ditching a friend group again. Oops.
Mm-hmm. I see why you would apologize, but also I feel like I'm trying to get out of apologizing for stuff like that, because there are days or sometimes weeks where I just don't want to talk to anyone. And I don't expect it, like, people to stick around for that. And it's not for everyone. Because I've gone through friend groups where it's like they talk 24/7, hang out like every other day, and I just can't, like, mentally do it.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I, for a very long time, was like, I'm the problem. And in some cases, I probably was, but sometimes just certain people aren't for you or don't really understand that you need to be alone sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the biggest thing, too, is, like, giving myself, instead of forcing myself into social situations, because I think, like, oh, well, if I'm around my friends, I'll feel better because we'll laugh and have fun. It'll be great.
Yeah.
But it's so draining, especially when you don't have the energy to do that kind of thing. And then going into a group of friends and, like, being the bummer. It's the worst feeling in the world.
I hated that. Yeah, I had friends who, like, who were just very social.
Yeah.
And could, like, party all the time and just go out and do things. And I would sometimes agree to going even though I knew I wasn't mentally there.
Yeah.
And I'd sit in the corner and just dissociate. And I was like, I hate being that person. I never want to be that person in the corner of the room that's just, like, looking around.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't want people to approach me and be like, oh my god, are you okay? Like, I never want to be that person, but sometimes it ends up like that because I just don't know how to say no.
Yeah.
Because I, for a long time, was like, if I don't agree to do these things, then they're not going to want to hang out with me.
Oh my god, fair. There's this, it reminds me of this one line from the Sydney Gish song, which doesn't really have much context, but it's talking about the pretty girls are being nice to me because I'm the depressed chick at a frat party or something like that. I like, yeah. Honestly, I am fun to be around, but, like, when I'm mentally doing well, I'm fun to be around.
Yeah.
And, like, for a while I was, like, showing up to every single friend hangout, and they'd be like, hey, Abby, like, how's it going? And I'd be like, well, I just had 3 panic attacks today, and honestly, I'm not doing very well. It's very hard for me to look you in the eyes right now, and also, can we just go get alcohol and drink? Which also was very unhealthy and, like, kind of a little bit enabling, but I'm a responsible adult and I should have been doing better. But that's when I knew I was like, I need to spend some serious time alone and, like, just disconnect for a while.
Yeah.
And since then, that's, like, mostly what I've been doing. I feel like I see people outside of work because I am super social at work. Like, I'm still, like, I see a bunch of people every day. I'm talking to people every day. And it's fine. It's good. Like, it's not a super, like, high, it doesn't demand a whole lot of energy to be social with my coworkers. Actually, maybe it does, and that's why I need to spend more time alone these days. But, like, maybe once every few weeks, I'll, like, make plans to hang out with friends and just, like, go for walks or something like that. And that, to me, is just so much more meaningful and enjoyable now. Especially that I, like, spend most of my time locked up in my apartment, just, like, vibing with my candles and incense and shit. So, I don't know. I like being alone. What can I say?
Same.
Yeah.
I absolutely do. But it is really nice when you find people that, like, you feel comfortable around and can have fun with. I have one friend who we used to see each other like every single day for months.
Oh my God.
And then just one day didn't really hang out, and we'll check in every now and then.
Yeah.
And we recently started texting to try to like make plans to like go for a walk or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this person is me. Like, I've never been the type to like text someone every day or like need to hang out every day. And I can go like months without talking to someone and still bounce back right into it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that some people take that as like disrespect.
Yeah.
But it's just awesome to know that I'm not the only person who is like that. And it's like a really solid friendship.
Yeah. No. And I think it's so, like, my friends, I have friends of all kinds. And I don't know, I feel like I've always been a reliable person. So I could have a friend that, like, wants to text me every day. And that's a lot. I will say that. If you want to talk to me every day, you're probably one of my coworkers. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, those are, like, the only people that I talk to every day. But, like, with my friends that, like, literally don't text me for 2 months, and then we'll FaceTime for, like, 4 hours or something like that, I am there for that FaceTime. I don't think anything of that break, and I think that should become more normal. Like, I understand that people have anxieties about, like, their relationships and stuff like that, but if you're friends with the right people and you just want nothing but the best for them and you truly, like, love and support them and value their friendship, and the friendship, this is one thing I've been thinking a lot about, is, like, friendships and, like, what their purpose is in your life. Like, I feel like it's so easy to get drawn into friendships that are based on, like, gaining something from the other person. Like, what are you getting from me and what am I getting for you? And it's like a very transactionary, I think that's the word. I don't know, transactional friendship. As opposed to just genuinely enjoying someone's presence. Like, it doesn't matter how or when they show up in your life. If you're just, like, down to, like, love them and support them for, like, whatever, like, how long they text you, how long it takes them to text you back, like, shouldn't necessarily matter. Unless you're trying to make plans, then that's not fun.
That shit pisses me off.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like, if anyone ever, like, no matter what time of the day, if anyone texts me and is like, I need someone to talk to, like, it doesn't matter what kind of state I'm in, I'll respond right away. But, like, sometimes it's just like, oh, I want to go to the pool or do this, and I say no, and sometimes, like, people that I'm not friends with anymore would kind of make me feel bad for it.
Yeah.
They're like, do you even want to hang out? I'm like,
yeah,
but not right now.
Yeah. Exactly.
I recently gathered a group of friends.
Oh, yeah.
I was telling you the other day.
Yeah, tell.
It's really funny how it happened. So I have one friend that I've been friends with for like a year, one friend I've known for years, and then one Twitter mutual. And the friend I've known for years and the Twitter mutual are like childhood friends.
Oh my God, that's perfect.
And I tweeted about wanting to play like iMessage games. And these 3 people all responded, and now we're like a group of buds.
Oh my God.
And we hung out a while ago, and haven't laughed that long. Just a really long laugh.
I'm just like, Brittany.
I haven't laughed that hard in a really long time. But also something I noticed is just like every single time I said something negative about myself, even when it's like a self-deprecating like joke, one of them would like be like, oh, don't say that, like, you're great, or like, don't, like, I've never had that.
Oh my God.
Because usually it's like your friend just starts saying the same shit about themselves or saying same, but like it's a nice change of pace.
Yeah. Honestly, one of my best friends here now, like, my thing, for some reason, I always call myself an idiot, because honestly, I truly believe it with my whole heart. I am an idiot. Like, if not most of the time, a lot of the time.
You're not, though.
But like,
no, but even just like us having this conversation right now, you're way more well-spoken than I am.
That doesn't mean that I'm not an idiot. This is the third or fourth time we're recording this because of my tech illiteracy.
That's not true. The first time was my fault because I am an old person and I have to listen in these headphones on full volume so you could just hear Abigail through my mic. So the first one was me.
Okay, fair. But then the second one, I didn't record the video. I think that was the No. The second one, I deleted all of my footage before posting it anywhere. That was a big idiot move. Like, let's be honest about that. And then the third time, literally none of my tech would work. Like, my computer was on the fritz, my headphones were, like, dying, my phone was dying, I was probably dying. I don't know. It was a big conundrum. But we're here now. We have made it 54 minutes in, which, honestly, props to us.
No problems that we know of.
No problems. Just a lot of word vomit, probably, but you know what? That's what we're about here at the Lonelycast.
I was gonna bring up. I feel like we've talked a lot about being nice to yourself, like, on the inside, but not so much about the outside. And I want to know how you've been doing with quarantine, like, in your physical appearance, if that's not too, like...
Oh, yeah, no, that's
much
totally
to get into.
Geez, well, I guess for, like, most of the past year, I have been adjusting to living in a new place with, like, a completely different climate, and my skin has been such a bad issue for me, and also such a big insecurity, whereas it never really used to be. Like, I've always had, like, I've always had, like, crystal clear skin, small pores. My pores are skinny as hell. But
you do have really nice skin, though.
Thanks. I'm wearing a lot of makeup. But like,
it does not look like it.
Thanks. I think
we'll
that's
talk
my
about
number.
it after. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, no, it's fine. I'll just, like, mention, like, I think my number one talent is wearing makeup, but also looking like I'm not wearing any makeup at all. And
it's talent.
I used to hate it because, like, I would be like, oh, like, getting ready this morning, putting on all this makeup, like, it was so tough, and people would be like, you're wearing makeup, and I was like,
I spent an hour.
I just literally spent an hour on my makeup. But now I'm like, it's kind of nice. Like, I don't know. But it's really good at casting an illusion that I do still have nice skin. But no, since moving, like, my pores have just, like, enlarged. And I've tried everything, man. The skin on my body, even. Like, I've been having, like, these weird, like, breakouts, like, on my legs and my butt. And I'm just like, sorry if that's TMI, guys. I have butt acne. But, like, honestly, like, it's been so bad for me, and I'm a really bad picker too, and it, like, when I'm anxious or, like, feeling really depressed, like, I'll pick really badly, and so, like, there's scarring that's happening. I don't know what the fuck. That's what's been going on in quarantine, is I'm just like, my body is a war zone. But aside from that, like, I finally got a full-length mirror in my apartment. Which is super exciting because I have not seen my body in a full-length mirror since last August. Well, I have because we have a bunch of work, but, like, I haven't been able to, like, admire myself, if you know what I'm saying. And so I did for the first time last night, literally since August, and I started crying because I had this horrendous image in my head of what I looked like, and everything that was wrong with me. Because I didn't actually have the opportunity to see it for myself or, like, through anything other than my iPhone camera, which is never a good idea. But honestly, I was, like, pleasantly surprised, especially because, like, I mean, I have been trying to stay fit. I, like, go for runs and do yoga, and eat relatively well. I'm really bad at that still, though. I have a pretty shit relationship with food, but, like, eating relatively healthier. And, like, I don't know, it was just, like, this is the longest period of time I've gone without being able to stand and look at my body in a mirror. And I was so scared about having that experience, but it turned out okay, and it also just made me feel really powerful again, which is nice, because I've been having issues getting my power back in the past year too, but I think it's like almost at full again. Who knows? What about you?
Before I get into it, I just want to say that Abby is the hottest they, them that I know. So if you're not watching the video and you're just listening, just know that they're a baddie. My bad.
It's okay. I misgender myself all the time. It's really fun.
Sorry.
It's okay. Thanks, Brittany.
How did I fuck that up within
I don't
the
know.
same sentence?
She's the hottest they, them.
I need to be put down.
No,
God.
It's
Anyways. I'm the worst. Anyways, quarantine destroyed my self-image. I was like in a really, really good place before quarantine.
Yeah.
But, you know, the normal weight gain from just being home all the time and not really getting out, as well as the large amount of weed that I smoked, plus the snacking. That kind of sucked. And also, yeah, my skin's been really horrible, and I think it's just the stress of living in a pandemic. But I've been trying to make an effort to, you know, dress myself up and try to look good, because for a long time I was in pajamas every day. I don't know. I think I've gotten better. I always have bad days where I look at myself and I'm like, ooh,
yeah,
jeez. But for the most part, I've been pretty nice to myself. Something that a goal of mine this year is to feel hot or sexy. Because I think I figured out, like, I don't think I'm ugly anymore.
Yeah.
I think, but I'm all over the place.
This conversation is blowing my mind, because I just, like,
because I'm not making any sense.
No, you are. You're making 100%. Well, you're not really making sense of the fact that you are literally one of the most beautiful people I know. So,
Abigail,
like, I'm being real.
Oh, wow. Thank you. No, but I mean, like, I don't really call myself ugly anymore, which I used to do a lot. But I can't get past, like, cute or pretty. And the reason for this kind of stems back to the people I was around. I had this one friend say the most backhanded compliment to me that's resonated with me for so long.
Love those.
Resonated.
Resonated? Not resignated. But
yeah, that's not
resonated.
Right.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Shut up, Brittany. You're just not stupid. God.
But this one time we got ready to go to the bar, and I let them do my makeup, and I think I, like, took one of their shirts, and I just did not look like me, because I just don't know how to do makeup. If I did, I'd be in full face every day.
Yeah.
I'm not like, oh, I don't need makeup. Like, I need it. I just don't know how to do it. But anyways, that night I was like, I feel kind of hot. And this friend was like, I feel like you're, like, the cute friend and I'm, like, the hot friend. And basically just, like, I forget what else they said, but made me feel like, yeah, I'm cute and yeah, I'm pretty, but I'm not too sexy. So I've had a really hard time, like, seeing that in myself. Like, even saying the word, did you hear me go, sexy?
Yeah, you're like, sexy. No, yeah. It's so
But isn't
frustrating.
that so fucked that I let someone say that to me?
Honestly,
I let my best friend say that to me, and I thought, oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Like, what?
If someone said that to me now, I'd be like, bah.
You know what? I think you need to shut the fuck up. How about that? How about that for an opinion? Honestly, like, things like that they cut the deepest, man, especially when they come from people whose opinions you care about. Like,
yeah,
it's so I don't, like, the audacity of some people to just, like, why not just be nice? Although maybe, no, you know what? Don't say that to anybody. You don't say that.
Don't ever. If your friend is talking about how great they feel, don't say anything that is not, I'm glad you look great.
It's like, wow, this bitch is actually not calling herself a dumb, ugly idiot for the first time ever. Let's stop that now. Like,
it was so backhanded, though, because it was like, yeah, you look good, but I'm the hot one.
No.
I was like, damn, bitch.
No. And I'm the funny one, so get the fuck out. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm like, well, I have a good personality.
Exactly. Have you seen the movie Duff?
Yes.
Oh my
where
God.
the Duff is, like, hot as fuck.
Literally. She's, first of all, gorgeous. But also, like, I, embarrassingly enough, absolutely adore that movie. Like, everything about it. It feels like one of those classic early 2000s, like, coming-of-age movies.
Yeah.
It's done so well. Duff, for those of you who might not know, is a dumb, ugly, fat friend, and apparently every friend group has one of those friends to I don't know, to add personality, to add some flavor, to add some spice to
make the
a
other
friend
ones
group.
look better, I guess.
Oh, okay.
I think that was the point.
Yeah. It's not true. I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. I internalized that movie a lot.
I thought I was that friend for a very long time.
I still think I'm that friend. And always will.
I still do too.
Like,
I just thought that would be too mean to myself.
Literally. I don't know. Well, I'm going to be honest about it. Like, I still think I'm that friend. It doesn't matter what friend group I'm in. I'm like, oh, yeah. Like, I am...
bullshit, but...
You know what? And yeah, it is bullshit because I'm hot and sexy. And no one is a Duff in my friend groups. Everyone is hot and sexy.
True.
Hot, sexy, funny friends only.
Imagine, though, being in a group of friends and at all, like, thinking that one person is not as attractive as the rest.
Literally. Every
time I look at my friends, I'm like, I'm in love with you. Please kiss me on the mouth.
Literally. Oh my God. 100%. I'm like that with everybody. Like, I've had conversations with some of my coworkers and they'll be like, oh, like, I don't really, this is not that great. I'm friends with some people who talk shit, okay? I'm not one of those people. I don't enjoy talking shit. But you know what? When you work with them, sometimes you can't avoid it. And hearing people talk shit, I don't participate. But they'll, like, say something about, like, someone's outfit or something like that. And I'm the first one always. I, like, turn and I'm like, really? I really like, I complimented them earlier. I really like that they're pulling off their own style. And, like, to be honest, I think everyone that I work with is, like, super hot. Like, literally everybody I work with. And cool and, like, fun and, like, interesting. And I said that to my coworkers and they were like, really? And I was like, yeah, you guys don't also think that everyone we work with is super hot? I was like, that is so strange. Because, I don't know, there's just something about, like... I have this newfound appreciation for people just, like, always. And I'm like, yeah, everyone is super cute and hot and whatever.
Sometimes I think back to the people that some of them are some people that I used to be friends with are great people. It just, you know, drift apart. But there's definitely some that I was like, they were so negative and just mean. Like, aside from, like, talking shit about people that we knew, it was just like walking down the street, they would like point out something that someone was wearing or just point out the way someone looked. Whereas like I walk down the street or I'm in the car and I'm like, look how fucking cool that person is, or like, I love those overalls. Like, yeah, I've never like looked at a group of people and been like, ew, you know? Yeah, like, like some people are. Like, I'm always just like, I love her hair, love her glasses.
Yeah. Like, some people, like, notice the weirdest things, and I'm like, are you, like, purposely looking for things wrong with people? Like, oh, I noticed you have a stain on your shirt, or, like, just stuff that people genuinely can't fix, like, right there at the moment. And it's like, are you being helpful, or are you just being mean? Because I just, no. But it doesn't
when
feel
you're
good.
Around that, I think it really affects, like, you assume people are noticing all these things they're not noticing. Because looking in the mirror, you're like, oh, that zit is huge. And then you go out and no one's looking at it because it's not that huge. Yeah. It's like, I was talking with my coworker the other day. I'm Portuguese, so I have, like, really dark hair. Mm-hmm. It's not even that dark, but I just grew up thinking it was really dark because all my friends had, like, really blonde hair. Mm-hmm. So, like, my arms were hairier than most of the girls in my grade.
Yeah.
And if you just look at me, it's not something you'd be like, oh, wow, this girl has hairy arms.
Yeah.
It's not something you would even notice, but because I look down at myself all the time, I'm like, oh my god, this is gross.
Yeah.
Like, no one's looking at you from your perspective.
Yeah. No, exactly.
No one's right here.
I think about, like, how many times I go out into public and I genuinely just don't notice things. I am, like, a super clueless, unobservational person. I'm making up words at this point. Like, I don't know.
It's our podcast. We can do whatever we want.
Exactly. Fuck you guys. No dictionary.
We're here to spread information.
Yeah. But, like, I never notice that kind of shit when I'm, like, outside. Like, I could not, even when I go on first dates, like, I really could not tell you, like, what my date will wear unless I'm, like, really in love with them, like, first date. But, like, I don't notice things about people. I just spat. Sorry, I'm gonna start that over. I don't notice things about people like that. And so to think that people are noticing me like that is probably just wrong. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel like people just need to be kinder to themselves, to everybody else. Like,
well, I feel like also just having a good energy and, like, being kind makes someone, like, look better. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
Like, if someone's just, like, being super negative and just saying, like, really awful things, like, to me, I'm just like, oh, I don't even want to look at you.
No.
But, like, when someone's just, like, smiling and just, like, talking about something they love or just, like, being sweet, I'm just like, you're so beautiful, I want to pinch your cheeks.
Exactly. My social anxiety is typing, though. I will be honest. Because me, like, when I'm in a group of people, even at work still, I'll have moments and I'll just, luckily with the masks, no one can see, but, like, I have a really awful and ugly resting bitch face. That just, like, perpetually, it's happened. Over the years, I feel like my face is just, like, slowly, like, moving downwards. But, I don't know, I feel like when I get really anxious, I just kind of, like, observe and my eyes get really wide and I'm like, what's happening? And I probably look very concerned.
Yeah.
But aside from that, like, I tend to be nice to people. I feel like the vibes that I give off initially, sometimes they might be like, why is that bitch just, like, not talking? Like, what's going on? Like, is she okay? Are they okay? See? Just did it myself. But I don't know. I feel like just be yourself and eventually you'll break out of your shell. It takes me literal months to break out of my shell, but, like, people will enjoy it if you can just, like, be free.
Yeah. And it's, I don't know, you'll attract really great people if you just start talking about yourself the way that other people are seeing you. I need to explain that better. But I mean, like, if you're constantly being like, oh, I'm the worst, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, then people are gonna be like, okay, maybe you are. But if you, like, are just like, I'm great, and you just, you know, just be you, then people will
they'll see that,
enjoy
they'll
being
appreciate
around
it.
you. My hair is getting crazier and crazier every frame.
Okay, I feel like we should wrap this up. We're, like, on an hour and 12 minutes. My AirPods are dying. This is how, like, every podcast episode is going to end. It's just going to be like, my AirPods are dying. Sorry, guys.
Hey, guys, Abby's AirPods are dying, so we're going to wrap this up. Oh, we should give Doug a shout out.
Doug? Oh,
like,
yeah, Doug.
Doug made the song.
I was like, who the fuck is Doug?
Maybe we should just do that at the end of every episode.
Yeah, no.
Because
like,
for
honestly,
those that aren't reading the description, it's probably a better way to do it.
Shout out to Doug Hoyer for the intro and outro music that we use. He's great. Also, shout out to Mal, Brittany's BF, for doing our graphics for the cover and for the little animation on the YouTube video, if you can see it. Those two have been extremely helpful in bringing this all together. So,
shout out to Abby for doing everything else.
Shout out to Brittany for showing up and also running social media, because that shit stresses me out.
Yeah. I just started a Discord the other day. I'm just fixing up the channels, but once that, I'll probably have it all ready to go by the time we post this, but we'll just link it with all of our social medias. But please join it, because I think it'll be really fun to just talk with everyone.
What's the Discord channel's name?
It's called The Lonely Pod. No.
The lonely spot?
It's The Lonely Spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll have to put the code in, though, because I think that's the only way you can really find it.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, we're really excited to just start posting and be able to chat with everyone.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing is, like, we both want this to become a community, kind of just, like, people going through similar things who want to, like, I don't know, just feel like they have a little gang of friends on the internet. I think that's, like, my biggest hope and dream for this. But you can follow us and connect with us on any social media platform at the Lonelycast, as it's spelt out on our platforms. And yeah, this has been episode 1. We made it all the way through. And I'm not going to delete the footage this time. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you. We'll see you guys next week.
See you.
Bye.